Taurus, welcome back to Steampunk Psyche. If you are a returning subscriber, I want to say thank you. I love you. I appreciate you so much for sticking it out with this community. If you're brand new to the channel or just cross-watching for your particular sign, make sure you come into Steampunk, check it out. I invite you to subscribe, okay? Make sure you turn on your notifications. We're going to do a general reading again. So like I always say, sometimes in our life, the energies kind of line up with us, right? For instances, synchronicities, things like that. Okay, we're going to get into your reading. We'll talk about all those things, all right? Taurus, I wish for you the most beautiful abundance, health, wealth, stability. I've already pre-shuffled the cards, but for transparency's sake, I will shuffle for you. I'll lay out these cards, go over the categories. Keep in mind, I always start your reading off with haiku poems. You're more than welcome to fast forward through them. But I just feel like it's my way of giving back to the community, and it kind of sets the tone for the reading, okay? Just keep that in mind. Get this out the way. We're going to look at your current energy. We're going to look at your crossing challenge. We're going to look at the foundation. We're going to look at the recent past. Look at the possibilities, the near future. I'll go over each of these categories with you, okay? We're going to look at the self, the environment, hopes, fears, wishes, or worries, and the near future. Okay, Taurus, I'm going to take a look at these cards, and while I'm doing that, I have your 3 poems ready, okay? I'll be right back. Okay, Taurus, I hope you enjoyed those poems. Here's the skinny on this situation. I feel like somebody is overwhelmed as hell, probably from all the choices, maybe even a little bit of fear, but make no mistake about it, you're the one that they keep coming back to. We're going to talk about it, okay? All right, in your current energy, we have the 7 of Cups. This is way too many tabs open in the heart space, okay? This is moments, options, fantasies, temptations, confusion. And I feel like also a little bit of that someone projecting maybe a lot of mixed signals your way here, okay? It's relatable though, right? It's like you're standing at an emotional crossroads here, okay? Someone is imagining a future with you, but they're also overwhelmed by choices. It could be, simple as just major, I don't know, in social media distractions, illusions, the comparisons, old flings, resurfacing or something like that. But it's the fear of choosing wrong. Okay. This is someone watching your socials, right, but not texting back. It's the classic, I want you, but I'm scared as hell to act. You might be comparing a couple of people here, maybe one that's, maybe one you feel like is stable, and the other one, it's really exciting. It's temptation, they could be comparing you to someone from their past or something like that. Okay, just take what fits. I'm always going to try to introduce as many, as many situations here as I can. So just if it fits with you, cool. If not, leave the rest for somebody else. But you're daydreaming about a future with someone who hasn't maybe really fully shown up for you yet. Okay, could be talking about third party. trying to get their attention again. Could be mirrored on both of your parts, right? Uh, Fantasizing about you, but there's no consistency in the situation. I'm not sure, but I feel like maybe you're tempted to reach out and you might be holding back on that. Okay. Um, they're imagining, what it would be like to kiss you. There's some passion and fire in this situation here. Or just to be with you, but they haven't made any kind of move. And so it's got you questioning whether this is like a soulmate energy or just, some serious chemistry here, right? It's someone giving you the mixed signals because I feel like they're just afraid of choosing wrong here. Okay. As far as any kind of human behavior, it could look like something like, liking your posts, but, not really sending out any messages or something. Or it's, somebody actually saying something to you like, hey, I've been thinking about you, you know, um, and then maybe kind of just close off. They don't really like follow through with the conversation, something like that. Um, it could also represent, and this might sting a bit, but hang on, it might represent something like, they keep you as the maybe because they're scared of commitment. You know, just take what applies here. You know what I mean? But this is like hiding jealousy, behind silence is really kind of this energy too. If we're talking about the masculine, it's got the overwhelmed, it's fantasizing or indecisive type energy. If we're talking about the feminine, it's very intuitive and sensing the truth, behind all of this kind of confusion. All right. Somebody could be seeing synchronicities here, anything to do with like the number 222, relationship type alignment numbers, or 777. We could be talking about spiritual clarity that might be coming here. um I don't know, somebody might be experiencing the old butterflies in the stomach. Okay. Like I said, they're just kind of like some signs for synchronicity, so just take what applies. But as far as timing, we might be talking about anything like from now, for the next 7 days or within 7 days. Or we could be talking about, this may apply for some of you, maybe during like Cancer season, the very end of June, roughly to around the latter part of July here. So just take what fits. All right, we're moving on into the challenge card. Right, we've got the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, I'm going to be gentle with this one, but this energy here is slow. Okay, it's this is not because they don't care. All right. This is like a challenge. Someone is moving, painfully slow here, but they're loyal, okay, and they're cautious, right? And I feel like they want to build something real here, but the pace is like fucking molasses, okay? It's just really slow. But keep in mind, the Knight of Pentacles, once they make a plan, and they usually, the card does represent they'll stick through, they follow through. Okay. Now, whether or not this happens for you, uh, molasses is not necessarily uh, not moving or not following through. It's just at a slow pace, is what I'm getting at. Right. So this could be like taking hours or days maybe to reply, or something. But I feel like this is because they're like rereading their messages and overthinking their responses. You know what I'm saying? But this is, I want commitment, but I don't want to F this up. You know what I mean? It could be talking about saving money before making a move. Maybe the person doesn't feel like they're financially, equipped to match your stability or something like that. But, it's got the, healing from a past relationship energy as well. But this is loyal to you, but terrified of, of vulnerability or something like that too. So they're watching you glow up, feeling insecure. Maybe they want to take you out or something like that. But I don't know. It's just maybe it's they're unprepared. Not sure of all the details that they need to know. So it's slow because they want to do it right here. Okay. Um, you might as far as like some human behaviors or something, it might be a situation where there's like over explaining done. You know, um, Maybe somebody's just going to send out like some short text or something like that kind of feels safe. You know. Maybe avoiding some emotional conversations. I don't know, showing love through, actions, not words, or something like that. I don't know. As far as the masculine energy is concerned, it's definitely the slow but steady. And if we are talking about the feminine energy, it's, patient but fucking frustrated, right? Somebody could be seeing, synchronicities around this energy as well, like the numbers 444. It does represent, protection. Um, anything to do with like coins, maybe feathers or something like that. Somebody may really be into like hats or something. Anyway, take what applies here. All right, now we're moving on into the foundation. We have the Ten of Pentacles. This connection has a long-term potential here. All right. Um, let me see here. Yeah, I'm definitely long-term potential. Sorry, I'll turn that card around so you can see it the right way. But I just kind of had a halt there for a second. Maybe somebody's thinking about like, in their mindset, they've got you as the one. Like you're the type of person that I could marry. I could make my wife. I could make my husband. Um, future plans. Okay, here without maybe even realizing you could be even thinking that same type of situation. It's got legacy, stability, family. The shared goals, financial blessings. Kind of the generic term, but I had to stop there. I took a pause. Because it's like I feel like this person wants to build a home with you, and so it makes sense as to why they've been really moving slow. Okay, that relationship, it feels like home. You feel like home to them. So it could also represent like a job upgrade or something, that changes everything. But definitely, I'm getting we're definitely talking about some kind of a long term soulmate here. Okay, and so you may get questions like, hey, what do you have in mind for your future? A question that might, I don't even know how you would ask that, but like, asking about your future goals. So what are you working on? What do you have planned for the next 20 years? I don't know, some kind of, I don't know if you get that kind of, if you get that kind of a lame response, just take it easy on that person. Okay, but it's definitely wanting to know about your future goals. So and I feel like maybe um, they imagine themselves in your life long term, right? So as far as a feminine energy, it definitely is the nurturing, grounded energy. So as far as synchronicities are concerned, we could be talking about the numbers like 888 here. That can be significant for somebody. That's the number of abundance. Okay, and so um, I don't know. Somebody may be receiving like a key to a new home or something like that, or be handed the key to hey, I need you to take care of my plants this weekend. So pay attention to some of the synchronicities. Okay, we're talking about the timing possibly within like 10 weeks here, something like that, a couple months. Anyway, we're going to move forward into the recent past, and we have the Empress. All right, this is you stepping into your power once again, and I feel that intimidation from that very very beginning. Okay, this is your confidence, self-worth. This is definitely glow up energy. Um, some people are like, when I see this reading, I'm like, I don't really feel like I'm in my glow up. But you know what? We are our own worst critics. So sometimes it may not be easy for us to identify that. Maybe you're the type of person that just, you know, um, I don't know how you would say that, but you don't need a pat on the back. You don't seek validation, and that is definitely, the Empress. She doesn't need the validation. She is the embodiment of purity. Okay, but this is setting boundaries. Okay, and I feel like somehow this has changed the dynamic. Okay, so you got somebody sweating bullets here, right? Someone may have realized just how valuable that you are. Like a little too late here, but this is becoming magnetic without even trying. Okay, you know and once again, this is definitely someone seeing you as like wife material, or husband material. It doesn't have to be a gender specific here, but this is somebody staring at your social media pictures or something. You posted some selfies, and they're kind of staring way too long here. But yeah, definitely the feminine energy here. This is divine magnetism, and in the masculine position, it would look something like admiration, and desire. Okay. Um, Synchronicities around this card, you could be seeing. I don't know. It's time to plant again. So somebody could be planting like roses. Okay. Um, maybe somebody is seeing doves. Where you're at. or the number like 333. We could be talking about within, I don't know, the next maybe 3 months here, possibly around May, end of May, June 20. That's Gemini season. So somebody could be dealing with Gemini here as well. Don't have to be, but could be. Just take what fits. But something around May or June, that type of time frame there. Okay, moving on into the possibilities, and we have the Chariot. Taurus, this is forward movement. This is determination. It's, travel, victory. This could be like travel plans with someone. Perhaps this person, mentions to you about, their favorite vacation spot as far as like I don't know, it could represent like a relationship moving forward fast as well. But I feel like this is also gaining clarity over that, um, a long distance connection, taking control of your love life. It's got the career breakthrough, major decisions, that are going to be made. Um, I don't know. This is the suddenly becoming very bold type of energy here as well. Okay, but I feel like it's someone finally making a move. Okay, that's kind of really in the end here. I feel like this is what this is going to represent for you. But so as far as the masculine and feminine energies here, we're talking about the masculine would be the chaser, the pursuit. Okay, the feminine would be in the receptive confidence. Um, if we're talking about synchronicities, maybe the numbers 111. That does represent new beginnings, so it might stand to reason why somebody might be seeing those numbers. We could be talking about things like somebody's really focused in on like a brand new car, anything to do with like movement, like horses or something that represents movement. Could be seeing synchronicity, so kind of pay attention about that. We could be talking about again the Cancer season. The end of June through the latter part of July. That could be a significant date for somebody here. All right, we're moving on into the near future, and we've got the Sun card. Okay, so we could be dealing with any of the any of the fixed signs or fire signs for sure. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius here. Um, all of them representing the mutable, cardinal, and fixed signs. So you could have any of those three in your timeline. But this is the clarity. This is the warmth, the breakthrough, the confession. The happy reunion. Okay, it's that date that's going to feel magical or just really really good to your heart space. Okay, this is talking about maybe a misunderstanding that's going to finally be cleared up. This is feeling lighter emotionally, right? Could be talking about a pregnancy here. Maybe somebody the announcement. This could apply to some a financial blessing. Some kind of a reunion where you come together and it's just you know, uh, feels good. Okay, it's like a rejoining of the heart. Everybody um, feeling seen, and appreciated again. Those types of energies. So um, you might be noticing a lot of people smiling around you a lot more. Okay, you just project that energy of happiness and joy. So you could be getting those glances. Those stares, those smiles, right? Just out of nowhere. It's got both masculine and feminine energy here. Okay, so the masculine might look something like very expressive, and this person might really want to make sure that you notice their smile. Okay, and the feminine is just it's damn radiant. Okay, so that's the kind of energy it puts off. As far as synchronicities, we could be talking about obviously things like summer flowers. Somebody could be a gardener here or something like that, or just purchase some flowers to plant in the ground. The number's like 1111. All about timing here. So we could be talking about maybe Leo season for somebody that might apply. Like I said, the end of July through the latter part of August. Okay, that could be a significant date for somebody here as well. Okay, we're going to move on into the self. We have the Six of Cups. Once again, you know, kind of the generic nostalgia, past life connections, childhood memories. Someone from the past thinking of you, but I'm thinking like someone is definitely missing you here. Okay, this is the soulmate connection that's going to resurface here, is what I'm getting at. I feel like this is the craving emotional safety, remembering the good times. Could be talking about a childhood friend or somebody that comes back that you reconnect with, part of that sun energy that we saw earlier. Healing the inner child wounds, I don't know, it kind of speaks to that. If you had to look back, it's like that childhood love or something, longing for that simpler kind of love, even though we know sometimes that's kind of fairy tale-ish, but I don't know, it's the reminiscing about, what we thought our expectations of love was, before we learned a lot of freaking karmic lessons. But anyway, this is scrolling back to maybe old photos of someone or people, just the reminiscing type of energy here, okay? It's got both masculine and feminine, and it definitely represents sentimental here in this situation. Okay, as far as the feminine nature, it's nurturing. You could be, as far as synchronicities are concerned, you could be seeing like the numbers 222. Um, Definitely songs from the past, right? Any songs that are hitting on the radio. You jump in a car, you get off work, and the first song you hit on the radio is, something from the past. There's some of your signs, right? Your synchronicities, all right? We could be talking about something to occur, maybe as far as timing within the next 6 days, something like that. Okay. We're going to move on into the environment. Look, I need you to take a deep breath. This is a soft landing hit, but this part, I'm saying it with love, okay? It might sting a little bit, but this is someone around you that's grieving, regretting or feeling like they totally screwed things up here, okay? Maybe because they didn't choose you a lot sooner. Maybe they're afraid, you moved on. This talks about grieving like a past relationship, But I really feel like they're scared of losing you, okay? And it's got the I'm ashamed of my behavior, the way I acted, So this could be them like replaying old conversations and or hiding their jealousy, something like that. uh, Comparing themselves to like your new admirers, right? You have the glow up, you got the joy card, um, and it's like I don't know. It's maybe somebody who's just trying to heal from some serious disappointment in that situation. But I feel like it's a they withdrew, and now they're going to reappear. Okay, it does have both masculine and feminine energy here. So the masculine would definitely be in that feeling of guilt, and the feminine has the energy of emotional processing here. So we could also be seeing things like synchronicities as far as like 555. 555 does represent change. Okay, somebody could have a black cat or be seeing black cats, something like that, which definitely represents intuition. Okay, you did have an empress here, so I feel like also something maybe within the next 5 days. We did have earlier 6 days, so now 5 days. So something's coming up here. There's definitely something in the works here. Okay, just take what resonates with you. But now we're going to move on into the hopes and the fears or the wishes or the worries. We've got this Knight of Wands, and things are changing. Passion, impulsiveness, desire. Someone wants you badly, okay, and they're fearing rejection. We've got that all the way through this reading. It's I want to rush in, but I don't want to screw this up. You know, I'm afraid that you'll think I only want sex. Uh, a passionate message that's going to come in. This fiery reconnection is definitely going to send the spontaneous reconnection, sexual tension skyrockets. Right? It's intimidation, but it's because of your confidence here. Okay. And so maybe you might fear that they'll disappear again. Well, it could go both ways here in this situation, but this is definitely I want to rush in, and I want you, and not only do I want you, I want you. Okay, take what applies here, but this is them flirting, them pulling back, then flirting again because they need motion in this, and I feel like you want this as well here. Okay, um, as far as masculine, it's got masculine both and feminine here. Masculine is bold, it's fiery. Feminine is definitely magnetic and alluring. We saw that with the Empress there. So somebody could be, as far as synchronicities, fiery type imagery as far as like birds are concerned, cardinals or something like that, right? The numbers 1111, those things could apply to somebody, or the timing again within like 9 days. So we're talking about 5, 6 to 9 days. There's something, you know, we've just seen those numbers definitely moving around for you. So, okay, we're moving on into the outcome. We've got the death card. Check it out. I'm going to hold your hand in this. This is not an ending, okay? This is not terrible. This is the transformation. You know, this is the major shift, a rebirth, you know, a relationship dynamic that it changes permanently for you, okay? There is this, I don't know, someone ends a third party situation, whatever it is. There's no more breadcrumbs. This is the relationship that finally transforms into something deeper. And I feel like that's going to be underneath the covers, but I'm just saying, take what applies here. But this is releasing old patterns, okay? Someone, you know, definitely confessing their feelings to you, the new beginning after that, you know, painful ending, whatever it is, you know, but major life change, you know, somebody could be moving or relocating, but I feel like this is the, you know, the new chapter in love here, okay? And so if this is your person coming back, they're going to show up differently, more honest, more intentional. Okay. It's got both masculine and feminine, you know, so the masculine energy looks like rebirth. Okay. It's like I just said, it's brand new. It's getting that information that you needed, them confessing their feelings, you know, and, you know, it's, it's relocating their heart space so that you understand it, you see it. Okay. And as far as the feminine energy is concerned, it's definitely renewal. So synchronicities could look like maybe the numbers 999, which does represent endings and beginnings. Okay. In the Kabbalah, the number 10 is the brand new beginning. So you are right at the cusp of this. We saw this somewhere between 5, 6 to 9 days. You know, there's something significant going to take place here. Scorpio season could, could resonate with somebody. Somebody could be dealing with a Scorpio, or around 13 days, something like that. Once again, there's those numbers. They're just really, really close together. So, Taurus, I feel like this is like, you know, this is like the emotional arc, you know, that's taking place. You know, you've been overwhelmed by choices or fears, or somebody else did, you know, that deeper truth that's coming back to you, you know. They are the one that is definitely circling you, though, okay? So as far as, you know, the hesitation and the insecurity is concerned, we just saw that cycle is about to end, right? It doesn't mean the end of your story. It means the upgrade here, right? So that dynamic that once felt very stuck is going to become honest, intentional, and definitely emotionally real. Okay, so it's like you're stepping into the chapter where you're no longer waiting to be chosen. It's everything, all of these things, you're being met, you know, you're being matched, you're valued, right? um Definitely a beautiful read, Taurus. I appreciate that kind of reading. You know, it's got love that's waiting, and I'm a Pisces. You know, I lead by the heart, and I'm very emotional. So when I get reads like this, it hits me. It's mature. You know, you're growing, you're moving, and you're glowing up. So anyway, hey, if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, would you? And I do invite you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure you turn your notifications on. Anyway, I love you. I respect you, Taurus. I hope you appreciated this. Anyway, see you on the next reads, okay? All right, bye-bye.